Picture this, if you will. You see a trailer for a piece of media that comes out, whether it be a piece of music, movie, or a video game entirely. You went out and you go and purchase said media. You come back, and then you experience said media. Watching it, playing it, listening to it, and then you find out that it's not as advertised in the trailers. That whatever hype that you had for it died. Now, take this and just put it over to Darkside Phil's situation here. He gets Sonic Superstars, pays $65 for it, and now all the damn sudden, he's not happy with his purchase. DSP tries it, buyer's remorse.
The first few worlds suck.
I wonder why they sucked. It could be the fact that you ran into a pit.
Just being honest, they really do. They're kind of boring. By the time the game gets good, you're already over a third into it.
You know, it really sucks to know that if a game's not good from the get-go, then you know that you're in for buyer's remorse. But Phil, knowing that he bought the game at full price, he will do whatever it takes to get that money back. Which he did.
You're going to want to use the other characters because you want variety, but when you do, the game becomes too easy.
So anytime you get something new, the game becomes too easy. This is just Final Fantasy 16 all over again, where the gameplay is simplistic, but yet he's complaining that it's complex and boring. But then again, he wants games to be easy. He wants games to be short. So why is he complaining?
These stages are way hard. Compared to the bonus stages in previous Sonic games, these are like ridiculously hard. And this is coming from someone who did them all in the previous games. Like, I always beat all the Sonic bonus stages. The game is...
So, yeah, glad that we actually get a flashback segment to him bitching and complaining about the bonus stages. Yeah, the whole thing with the bonus stages. Phil, the reason why you sucked at the bonus stages is due to the fact that you're picking things and you're just going. You think, I have the prize. Swing, swing. Oh, what? I'm too slow. I die.
It's more about constantly doing the mini games than it is the actual main stages.
Well, then again, though, Phil, all Sonic games, they want you to do the main game first. Why do you think they're called bonus stages to begin with? For God's sakes, you're doing the bonus stages because you think, I'm doing everything in the game. But yet you're doing them poorly.
Mini games are more prominent than what you're doing in the main stages of the game.
Well, then again, Phil, that was prominent in the classic Sonic games too, especially when it came to finding the Chaos Emeralds.
Honestly. And it appears the game is way too short. It looks like I said, we're going to beat it today. And it's like, what happened here?
Phil, you were hyping this up saying that you were going to play the game on your channel. That everyone should come in. Oh, give me $100. I'll wear the Sonic hat. Come on, guys. We're going to go play Sonic Superstars. It's like, Phil... You hyped it up. You overpromised that it's going to be really good, but we've seen how you played it, and it's very, very good case of underdelivery.
It's 2023.
And
this company that made the game didn't realize that people would want more out of a full $60 release.
So this is coming from a guy that if your game is over 20 hours, that's too long. But now he's going to go to, if the game is under 10 hours or under 8 hours, that's too short. Phil, what you fail to realize is that most games, like the classic Sonic games, or the classic Mario games, or just any retro game, they're most likely going to be short. But what makes it up is their replayability. Why do you think that the classic Sonic games and the Mario World and also Yoshi's Island are considered to be one of the best? Because of the replayability.
I'm really baffled at this one.
Why are you baffled, Phil? Why are you even baffled at this point?
Especially because we had Sonic Mania. Let me put it this way. Okay.
Yeah, we had Sonic Mania. That came out in 2017. That was a retro Sonic game made by actual Sonic fans. And fun fact, Tyson Hesse actually went on to make the design for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Because a lot of people didn't like that design. So it really shows that, hey, fans of Sonic can make really good games.
Right? Like, I really have no clue what the management were thinking who were running this project.
This is just exactly like he talked about with Starfield. That if he was the game director, he would know what to do. It's like, Phil, you don't know jack shit about programming 101. You don't know anything about game direction. You just want to sit there and pretend that you know about this shit, when in actuality, you just think, oh, just go make my game while I go sit in my office, just eat a bunch of Baconators and do cocaine off a hooker's ass.
Like, on no way, shape, or form could they have thought that this was passable and people were going to let this fly in 2023.
So there are a lot of games out there that are short in the year 2023. Like, I can get behind what you're saying, Phil, but due to the fact that you've also said that any game that's over 20, 30 hours long is too long, even though that's what they wanted the games to be. Again, what you are saying, Phil, makes no sense.
You know? And again, the game isn't broken.
But yet you're complaining.
It's not a buggy mess.
Again, you're complaining.
It's not a joke.
Even though you said that it's too short, which in turn, you think it's a joke.
It handles fine. The controls are fine.
Yet you complain that they were too stiff, that they were too slow. Then again, Phil, it's just like the classic Sonic games.
It acts when you press the buttons. You know what I'm saying?
So now he's just reaching for straws here. It's like, oh yeah, you press the button. I can do this, and all of a sudden, it works. Thank you for explaining that. If it doesn't work when you press a button, then it doesn't work.
The problem is, it's just an awful value, terrible value for what's in the game. The game doesn't even feel as good as the last attempt to make a 2D Sonic, which was many years ago.
Yeah, back in 2017, but given credit where credit is due, the visuals for Sonic Superstars look nice. It's a nice, modern version of a retro game. But again, Phil, you just want to make complaints to play contrarian like you always tend to do.
So how can you sell it for $60?
I mean, that's the only point that I can actually agree with him on, due to the fact that Sonic Superstars is about 4 to 5 hours, but it's $60. I would not pay $60 for it. Maybe at Grand Max, $40 if it's the deluxe edition. But again, Phil's just sitting there complaining that he's wasting money on games that are too short, when in reality, it wasn't even his money that he was spending it on.
If this game had come out as a $20 or $30 discounted title, I would have been like, all right, I get it.
No, you wouldn't. You would still bitch and complain about it.
They knew that they didn't have a full game here for 2023 audiences, so they sold it on the cheap. But you know what? It's a good ride for what it is. That way you're not expecting that much, because you're paying half price. You're expecting half the length of a real game, right?
But then again, though, Phil, what is half of the length of a game? So, if you take a game that's 50 hours and you have it by 25, oh, that's a good game then? Then tell that to every single game that you bitched and complain about for being way too long, even though the games are really good.
They charged full price.
Then again, you charge $20 on your Reacts channel and promise them that they can get their videos watched, but you end up skipping them anyway. So, you want to talk about ripoffs?
There was tons of contributions before. The moment I started playing the game, all contributions stopped. There's not been a tip. There's not been a super chat. There's not been a membership. There's been nothing. Since I started playing.
I love how he immediately goes back to that little part of Sonic Superstars. I mean, GG's. And now he's just sitting there looking at his chat thinking, people are going to give me money because I said the truth, even though it's all bullshit.
It's just crazy, you know? I'm just like...
Man, I can't believe that I spent $65 on my own money on a game that's too short. Wah.
So, this is what I mean, right? This year, it's like impossible to know what's going to be good.
Then again, Phil, there is a thing called the internet. You can type in Sonic Superstars reviews, how long to beat Sonic Superstars, how long to beat any game. And any game review that's out there, it will be on the internet. Again, Phil, it is 2023. Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anything that little puny brain of yours can think of can be found. It's not hard.
Like, I think we all thought Final Fantasy 16 was going to be absolutely amazing.
Oh, god damn it. I joke about Final Fantasy 16, and I make that a point, but god damn, I didn't expect him to actually bring up Final Fantasy 16. Phil, Final Fantasy 16 is fine. It's a decent game. But again, not a lot of people are going to like Final Fantasy 16. It does create some sort of diversity to people liking it or not liking it. But you didn't like it because you thought the controls were too easy when you tried to explain it in the most complex of ways. You didn't like the story, didn't like its visuals, and you thought, oh, it's copying Dragon Ball Z and Godzilla and Game of Thrones all at once.
Right? Well, a lot of us thought Starfield was going to be groundbreaking and different. So,
Phil, you did say that Starfield was going to kill Baldur's Gate 3.
something amazingly new from Bethesda, right? It's like you can't trust anymore.
Then again, Phil, you never trusted anyone to begin with. So why are you bringing up trust?
You can't trust tried and true game development companies to pump out good games anymore.
Then why don't you go to the indie game market? Oh, right, I forgot. If it's not on Game Pass, then fuck the indie game market. Except for one game, which was Midnight Fight Express. The only reason why you played that indie game was because it's free.
Because every time that you depend on them and you trust them, they let you down.
Then again, Phil, there is a thing called expectations. There are a lot of games out there that do not exceed my expectations. That's a thing to have.
And then you get a diamond in the rough like Lies of P. That's like, oh my god, I never expected anything would be this good.
The only reason why you like Lies of P is because you got your hand held all the way fucking through. You also looked up guides for it, Phil. That's the reason why you like Lies of P. But, spoiler, Phil, Lies of P, not that great.
And the game is super good.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm pissed off.
Oh, you being pissed off? When aren't you?
All right? Now I'm going to still... Don't listen. Don't listen to that yet.
Yeah, don't listen to what I have to say because it's all bullshit.
I am going to enjoy the game.
But you're complaining that it's $60 and it's too short, and you're telling people to disregard your complaints. Right.
We got a whole stream today of this to finish it off. And if we finish it off early, I'm going to try, I guess, the other mode, which is what, battle mode? I at least want to see what it is, because
But then again, you're not going to try it out.
it's in the game. I have absolutely no desire to play it more than once. You know, I don't care about an online battle mode. I want to fucking just play a platformer. That was the whole point of the game.
Even though that's how you were hyping it up to begin with, saying it's like classic Sonic, guys. It's just like Rayman. It's just like the Mario game. Oh my god, I should just play Mario and Sonic together whenever it comes out. And now you kind of lost that. As soon as you found out the game was way too short, you lost what you were going to do with your schedule. But then again, you're always constantly changing your schedule around.
Right? So, I will give it a shot, but I am upset.
Man, that fucking lip roll and the tongue. Goddamn, Phil. Yeah, you're so upset, but yet you're trying to think of constant excuses.
Because my schedule, I literally laid out a schedule.
Oh, fucking go. Life is subjected to change, Phil. I love the fact that your autism is getting in the way. But my schedule, guys, my schedule, my schedule. Fuck my schedule.
So that I would finish all the lingering projects that I was working on. I wanted to finish Lies of P, the Resident Evil 4 DLC, in time to play Assassin's Creed Mirage within 1 week so we could finish Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Which you ended up finishing, and you were bitching and complaining you weren't getting enough money.
So now we would have time to play Sonic for 2 days, and then have that be balanced with 2 new releases on Friday, tackle all those games next week before Alan Wake 2 comes out, right?
I wonder why Adam came to mind, Phil. I mean, are you going to give him a thumbs down and call him a motherfucker?
This was my plan. And now, all that plan's going to have to change, because this game's going to be done today.
Man, you are so obsessed with scheduling. You think that you can make a good boss because you know how to make a good schedule. Like, I could just imagine Phil being a boss of a company, and he's in charge of scheduling. He would schedule everybody to work while he does nothing. And then people complain. And then he has to wonder, why are people angry at me? I gave them the schedules that they wanted, which was everyday work with no pay.
That I paid a lot of money for.
Uh-huh. You didn't pay the money, Phil. People gave you that money. And most of that money was spent on WWE champions.
Yeah, I'm upset. Can you tell?
But then again, Phil, you made up the fucking money for it as soon as you played it on the premiere stream. You made your $100. So you made up for that goddamn stream.
I'm tired of being disappointed by these companies.
Well, then again, Phil, learn to exceed your expectations.
It's enough of this shit. It's time to fucking start have responsibility to the customer base.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now he's making complaints about game development should care about the customer base. Phil, I'm going to tell you this, and everyone else will say it. The game development or game developers do not care about the consumer base due to the fact that it is a business. It's an industry, Phil. And the only people that truly care about the customers most likely are the stockholders. They think, oh, the customers will like this, and they'll tell the developers to go make it.
Stop making cash-in games.
Well, then again, Phil, stop begging for tips every day. Stop trying to cash in on your pay pigs.
That's really what this game feels like. It's a cash-in game.
Really? A cash-in game? So essentially you're comparing Sonic Superstars to, oh, I don't know, all the movie tie-in video games like Iron Man?
They have the groundwork laid with Sonic Mania to make a better game. They just didn't go for that. They didn't really care. They wanted to put out a passable game, but charge double what the value was.
Phil likes to make up a lot of exaggerations when it comes to what they wanted for the game development for just any game. So I just love the fact that he's just keeping up with his exaggerations, truly showing off his confidence as an ignorant motherfucker.
And that drives me bonkers. It's not...
That drives me bonkers. You get it? Bonkers? You never heard that word before, have you, stupid kids?
We have enough competition now in the gaming landscape that just passable games are not good enough anymore. Right? Like I said, we literally have their direct competitor, Super Mario Wonder, is coming out on Friday.
But then again, though, Phil, not a lot of people give a fuck about competitions. I mean, this isn't the 90s anymore when it came to Sega versus Nintendo. Nobody really cares about that anymore. The only reason why you care about it is because, hey, kids, remember that time? Oh, you probably weren't alive then, but back in the 90s, Sonic and Mario were on head-to-head competition, and then nobody cares.
You can't have a passable game come out 3 days before.
And the only reason why you're caring is because you feel ripped off, but wasn't your money that you spent.
It has to be outstanding. It has to be good. It has to resonate. It has to have value. It has to have gameplay elements that you're going to remember. I mean, hell, even the soundtrack of Sonic Superstars is far inferior to other Sonic games. I think there's been 2 stages that I've really liked the soundtrack. I think stage 4 and 5 were really good.
I love how he just thinks of stage 4 and 5, but he can't remember what the names of those stages were.
And outside of that, I can't even remember any other music. What the hell happened here, right?
But then again, Phil, what the hell happened indeed? It's like, my God, first you were sucking the game's dick, and now all of a sudden you're mad because it didn't give you a call back.
So, yeah, I'm not very happy right now, all right?
I mean, we already know you're not happy, Phil. This is like maybe the 5th time you said it.
I thought for sure this was going to be a week we were going to go into it positively and having fun with brand new games. And I'm not saying, again, that Sonic Superstars hasn't been fun.
But yet you're complaining about it. So are you not, or are you having fun?
There's definitely a fun element there. But man, you want to talk about a disappointment. If I beat this game today, which it looks like I'm going to, I cannot see how this would not make my top 5 most disappointing games of the year.
Well, then again, Phil, weren't you wanting all the games that you're playing to be beaten at a certain time due to the fact that you got Spider-Man, Mario Wonder, and Adam Wake 2?
I don't know how it wouldn't. How do you make a 2D Sonic game in 2023 that's nowhere near as good as the one they made 5-6 years ago and charge full price for it?
I mean, I can ask the same question with you, Phil. How is it that in the year 2023 you still think you're running a successful business, even though that nobody really gave a fuck about you after 2016?
You have to be a fucking moron.
Well, then again, didn't you buy it, Phil?
Because what's going to happen now? No one's going to trust them. Sonic just came back last year with Sonic Frontiers, you understand?
But then again, though, Phil, Sonic Frontiers and Sonic Superstars are 2 completely different types of games. Sure, they're both platforming, they're both Sonic, but the difference is that Sonic Frontiers is more like an action platformer game. But then you got Sonic Superstars, which is just a 2.5D platformer, trying to resonate with the classics. And the reason why people like those games, most likely Mania and Superstars, is because of nostalgia. I mean, for God's sakes, you clearly tend to have that very fond fascination with nostalgia.
Sonic was on a big losing streak. Every game that was coming out, Sonic Boom, Sonic Forces, they all sucked.
Well, then again, though, Phil, there is a payoff for most of those. I mean, for Sonic Boom, it came out with a TV show that people actually really enjoyed.
The one
But then again, this is a guy that claims to be a fan, but he's not a fan.
shining light that we had was Sonic Mania, with hope that in the future Sonic would go back to his 2D roots and have a great time, right?
But then again, though, Phil, that's why I'm going back to this little thing. Learn to exceed or lower your expectations. But you put your expectations way too goddamn high.
Oh my god, this is great. Maybe Sonic can excel as a 2D game again. And then the very first attempt they go to make a 2D game after that is a stinker? Like, what happened? Oh my god.
I mean, I'm looking at the Metacritic scores, and even though this is the PS5 version of it, 75 out of 100 is not necessarily bad, though. But Phil's gonna look at that and say, oh, no, it's bad. Shouldn't trust Sonic anymore.
No, I want answers. I'm serious.
Why don't you fucking do research, Phil? Why don't you go to Google, type in Sonic Superstars, type in the review scores, and then come back to us on it. Oh, right. You don't want to do that. You want to relay it to your fucking deadheads to do it for you.
I want answers. I want them to go into this fucking studio and interview the studio head and say, what the fuck is on your mind? Because I want to know how this game came out.
Okay, so if you want someone to do that for you, then they're going to be committing a lot of fucking crimes.
I want answers right now.
Then again, Phil, it's not going to happen. If they want to interview the person behind it, they'll interview them. But the way that you're trying to perceive it and try to force that, sounds like criminal activity.
You're not allowed to leave your office until you answer.
Oh, so now holding them hostage. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's make it a big fucking joke. Holding someone up at gunpoint, asking for answers about Sonic Superstars. Ack.
I want to know.
Then again, if that ever happened, then the person trying to hold them hostage will probably get shot dead by security.
I can't take it anymore. I've been doing this for 15 years.
And we should care why?
15 years.
Okay, we got it, Phil. 15. Okay, what's so special about it?
Do you want to know the truth? All right, you want to know the truth? I've played this game for 3 hours, and we're going to beat it today. So far, Sonic Colors on the Wii is a better game than this game.
Even though you're trying to compare apples to oranges here, or you think, in your case, apples to apples, two different kinds of games, Phil. Granted, they're both Sonic games, but they play entirely fucking different.
Sonic Generations is a better game than this game.
Well, then again, that's without question.
So far. Now, I'm going to finish it. Maybe it's good at the end.
But then again, you're bringing up games that came out in 2010 and 2011.
Right? But I'm just like, what on earth? What has happened?
If you're really that distraught about Sonic Superstars, then why don't you play fucking Colors? Why don't you play Generations again?
Why?
Oh, right, you won't do that unless it's a members poll.
Why are we allowing this to happen?
Again, Phil, nostalgia. You had that fond fascination with nostalgia with the Modern Warfare 3 beta. That's the reason why that game was selling. Nostalgia.
We shouldn't allow it to happen. This game should be taken to task. And
it should be taken a task? For what exactly, Phil? For it trying to bring back the classic Sonic vibe? I mean, granted, to each their own. Some people might like it, some people might not. It's all in the patterns of subjectivity, Phil, but you don't seem to understand that.
And I hope it does. I hope that people now will look at this and be like, what the hell just happened?
And yet he's looking at his stream chat, hoping that they believe him, when in reality, who cares?
How do we allow this? And how do we get duped? Because I got duped.
Yeah, you got duped. Or you believe the voices in your head that told you got duped. But then again, you're sitting there speaking for everybody.
I got duped. Anyway, let's see what happens today. I am hoping for a good ending. Like I said, it actually did get better the further in I got. Like, I would say around stage 4, it got pretty good. I liked the stage. And, like, some of the other stages were pretty unique. They're just too short.
I love how he's immediately backpedaling, saying that, oh yeah, all the other stages, they were good, but stage 4 was the best, and then, but fuck stage 1.
So, if there really are 4 or 5 worlds left, I hope that they're really good worlds, and we have a good time, and we wrap it up, and it is a good overall experience. It's just way too short.
And yet, at the end of the day, he could not recommend Sonic Superstars. For what reason? Too short.
I guess we'll see. But I certainly was never expecting that today, on Wednesday morning, I'd be sitting here telling all of you, it looks like we're going to beat the game I just started yesterday.
And isn't that a good thing for you, Phil? Because you want to beat through all the games that you bought, in quotes? You can never satisfy this motherfucker, I swear to God.
And this is supposed to be the big start of a 2-week push of brand new releases. Like, what the
Well, then again, if it's that disappointing, then, ladies and gentlemen, expect that the rest of it's going to be major disappointments.
It kills me. It kills me. I can't take it anymore, man. I can't take it anymore, man.
And yet he's thinking that suicide is funny. From a guy that said he has depression, is thinking that this is hilarious. Right. So, before he got into the Sonic Superstars gameplay, someone gave him $2 asking him about drama, and then he started going off about how he's not interested in drama, he doesn't give a fuck who doxed who, and who's getting offended, and who's getting harassed. He just shows that he does not really care. But again, if nothing's about Phil, then immediately he just discredits it and says he doesn't want to talk about it. Even though he could have brought in some insight with like the doxing situation due to the fact that he claims to be doxed. So right then and there, it just shows that him being doxed is a whole bunch of fucking bullshit. But with that, let's get on to Sonic Superstars.
Chun-Li fan to the dollars. If you say you're upset about the game being full price, since you're crowdfunded, is that wrong to complain? No, that's a stupid thing to say.
Well, Phil, it is kind of a dumb thing to say, though, even though you bought Sonic Superstars with their money.
Still can feel the value of $1 like anyone else, regardless of the fact if people crowdfund me or not, right?
Well, Phil, here's the thing with this, though, and I'm going to repeat this. I'm sounding like a broken record here, but they gave you money so you could buy these games, but you spent a good majority of it on WWE Champions, and you count that as a business expense. It's like, Phil, come on. They're the ones that are giving you the money to pay for these games, Phil.
What's the difference if I put in a 9-to-5 job and I earn the $60, or if I earn it through your crowdfunding and I earn the $60 and spend it? It's the same.
No, it's not the same thing. The difference between working a 9-to-5 job and earning the money for it, it means that you bought it with your own money. But compared to crowdfunded, it just means that someone else paid your way. Big difference.
Same exact thing. So the answer is no.
You have no idea what you're fucking talking about, Phil. Instead, you want to look at that and be like, that's a stupid thing to say. This guy who tipped me is an idiot.
That's a really dumb question, actually. Thanks to those who are here and chilling and enjoying. To those who supported the stream so far, thank you.
Yeah, but I'm looking at my $45, and thank you 1 Minute Man for coming back for $20.
If you'd like to support the stream further, we can at least hit the tier 1 tip skull. That would be great, but remember,
I need the tip skull, guys. I need $50 for every stream, or else I'll die.
we have something going today. If we hit the tier 2 tip skull, we will have the Sonic hat.
No, Phil, put that hat down. Nobody wants to see you look extra special. I mean, clearly you already do on your own with the toilet seat neck phones, but for God's sake, stop it with the fucking hat.
Worn for essentially the final time in a very long time, because I don't know when another Sonic game will be coming out at this point, so.
Yeah, who cares, Phil? And even if another Sonic game came out, there's no way in hell you'll be making money to wear that stupid hat again.
Consider tipping to make the Sonic hat happen by the end of the stream today, and get that going. Outside of that,
yeah, please get that going, guys, or else I'll lose my mind. I need my special hat.
Derek, I see what you're saying. Yes, I see what you're saying about Flow. Derek, I'm doing a video game playthrough. Why would I stop playing Sonic in the middle of the playthrough to comment on that? Right?
I mean, you can give your insight on it, but no, it just shows how heartless you could be.
Honestly.
Oh, yeah, fuck whoever Flo is, and no, it's not important.
I understand. So someone in the FGC from back in the day has passed away at the age of 39. It's sad. Sad to hear. But
it's sad to say, and it's sad to hear. Money ties the video.
I'm not going to stop and interrupt the entire playthrough to talk about that. If we hit the tier 2 tip skull, we will have the Sonic hat.
I love how he says this, and then moments ago, not even 30 seconds ago, brings up the stupid hat. Wow, Phil contradicts himself quickly.
You know, that's something that, like, in between parts or during a podcast or, you know, I'm not going to derail the gameplay stream to talk about that.
Phil, you do it all the fucking time. Guys, I need that tier 1 tip skull. I need it, guys. Come on, guys. Oh, I'm not derailed. Looks at this chat. Oh, where's my money?
All right. So, and the thing is, again, I'm not part of the FGC.
Yeah, but people in the FGC know you and you're a disgrace.
I don't, you know, talk about these people.
Yes, you do. You talk about everybody in the FGC, granted not by name, but when a name pops up like Justin fucking Wong, you go ape shit. Tony Cannon, oh, don't get me started with the rollback netcode.
You know, quite frankly, I never was friendly with Flo. I never knew him personally that well. A lot of the interactions I had with him, honestly, were negative.
Oh, great. Way to disrespect the dead.
So, rather than talk about that, I said, I'll just ignore it.
Yeah, I'll just ignore it. A guy who treated me like shit back in the FGC with no proof or citations added. Oh, yeah, I'm perfect.
Okay? But, you know, it's sad he passed away at the age of 39. That's very early to be passing away that early, and I'm sad to hear that.
Nah, early would be sometime, like somewhere early. Like before you hit adulthood. That's considered way too early. But at the same time, Phil, you're trying to show remorse when you're being disrespectful to the dead. But then again, you always tend to do that. I mean, you monetized T's death, right?
I am. That's what I'll say about it. You know?
Also, Etika's death. Let's not forget that, too.
You know, I'm sorry for the loss of life there of someone who had a lot of their life left ahead of them.
No, you fucking don't, Phil. You do not give a fuck about anyone's life but your fucking own. You only care about your own mortality while being immoral, especially when it comes to, hey guys, I'm more important than you are. Give me your paychecks.
You know, that sucks. And that's all I'll say. Okay? They want to get my attention. They just spam the chat nonstop.
So he admits that Derek fucking spams his chat. Hey, Phil, he's breaking one of your rules, isn't he? Why don't you ban him?
It's not gonna... if I'm ignoring it, it's for a good reason.
It's because it's my son, Derek, and he's being annoying again.
Right? There's probably a really good reason. Okay? So you don't have to keep spamming. Okay.
Hey, yeah, Derek. You heard your father. Stop spamming.
It's like the other day, we were watching the Percy Jackson trailer. Someone kept spamming the chat. Oh, did he see Edge? Did he see Edge was in it? Edge is in it. Did he see Edge? And this wasn't Derek, by the way. This was someone else.
I love how immediately he had to go. That wasn't Derek, by the way. It wasn't him. No, it's someone else.
They were like, Edge is in it. The wrestler Edge. Edge. Phil didn't mention Edge. Edge is playing Ares. Edge. It's like, dude, we get the fucking hint.
Goddamn, Phil. So if someone else is spamming, oh no, they get full on yelled at. But if it's Derek spamming, oh no, yep, I know you're spamming, Derek. I don't care.
Yeah, Edge. Who cares?
Well, you do, because apparently you're a fan of wrestling, even though you deny it.
Right? There's a difference between, you know, maybe trying to give someone the heads up on something, and someone who just, you don't get the hint.
So I'm going with a wild suspicion that it was probably multiple people letting Phil know about Edge being a part of that Percy Jackson movie. But again, Phil wants to stim it all to one person and deny that it's Derek.
It becomes borderline annoying and obnoxious.
So what Derek does.
And you got to understand that you got to read the room sometimes and know how to read the room.
Oh, Phil, you clearly do not know how to read the fucking room at all, especially when it came to, oh yeah, someone was doxxed and they're afraid to leave their home. Oh yeah, no, I don't care. Fuck that. I don't care.
In those situations, you know, I don't really care about pro wrestling. I don't talk about pro wrestling.
But yet you spend a lot of money into an app called WWE Champion, so you do care about wrestling.
I've seen pro wrestling in years. I don't care if Edge is in Percy Jackson. You know. It's not an observation I would even care to make, you know?
I mean, you could have mentioned it's like, hey, Edge is in it. He's part of wrestling. I don't keep up with wrestling, but I know who he is. Oh, we're at the final boss. Let's go, boys.
Dude, where's the blue missile?
And girls.
Yo, the blue missile never comes out, dumped down now.
Well, maybe the blue missile might come out if you wait.
The blue missile never shows up on the fucking screen.
Boo fucking who. Phil, you're not patient at all when it comes to this shit.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Why is this game sucky? Yeah, you can just tell by the way that he's clicking and clacking on his joystick. Yeah, he wants to get this game over and done with already. I would have laughed if you went off the edge, I'm just saying. Well, look, Phil, there was a blue missile, and you just ran to the left. Oh, look, there's another one.
Now I have no... Not only did my ring phase through the platform and not allow me to grab it, then the next missile landed directly on me.
Phil, that was the blue missile that you should have hit, but you missed, pal. Come on, Phil, gotta go fast.
Huh?
Phil, you hit the wrong one.
Did I just destroy a missile in midair? Can you do that?
Yes, you did, Phil, and it was the wrong one.
No.
I love how Phil's complaining about the blue missile, and he's completely missing them.
When I did it, it was a glitch. You're not supposed to be able to break these missiles.
Phil, you were in the spinball animation, so...
Do I just run for a minute? Because I don't think you can hit him here, right? Oh, you hit him now? Okay.
My God, Phil. I mean, a lot of people could read the room and have better reflexes than you.
Only have a minute left, though. What the fuck do they want me to do?
Well, for starters, dodge and go straight to the head. Duh.
There's only 30 seconds left. There's 20 seconds left. What am I supposed to do?
Well, Phil, now it's 12.
10 seconds.
That's not 10. That's 11.
Can't hit.
Phil, what the fuck was that? That is the face of a man who is clearly having fun.
You have to do the whole fight from the start.
No duh.
I have no clue how they expect me to beat him.
And what Phil is doing, he's wasting time, and then he wonders why he had only 10 seconds left.
How am I going to beat him? I have no idea. I don't have enough time.
I won't have enough time, but that never stopped you before.
Okay.
Well, at least I see that he could see clearly now.
Whoa. Huh?
What the fuck, Phil? I'm going back. Like, Phil.
Whoa.
That means run. Keep running.
Huh?
Huh? Cloud mode?
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
No, even I, the guy who hasn't played this game but can get a general idea about Sonic games, saw that and thought, maybe you should just keep running.
And
You know, because gotta go fast.
instant death. A cheap instant fucking death.
Phil, that was not cheap and it wasn't fucking instant. You had plenty of opportunities to run, but you didn't. Oh yeah, this is totally the developer's fault, by the way. Totally their fault.
Oh my god. Why would they put an instant death in the boss fight?
Phil, that was not instant death. You could have ran off.
And there's no way to know what would happen.
Huh. even though you could have just ran off.
What the fuck?
And now he's looking at his chat, wondering, guys, what the hell do I do? Oh, you just run off? Stupid game didn't tell me. And he died again.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to do.
Clearly. That's in every video game that you play, Phil.
Do the whole fight from the start. That's insanely tedious and long. I don't have time to beat it.
Phil, you could... Keep seeing a blue missile and he's not fucking hitting it! There you go!
I don't get it. There's no way I can do this any faster. You have to take your time waiting for this to end before you can continue. There's no blue missile. There it is. Too late. Too late.
Phil, that's when you wait for the next one. Didn't you just say you have to wait?
Yeah, this is nonsense.
God damn it, Phil. Come on.
Now time is wasted, and I'm going... Yeah, this is... Fuck this game.
Phil, you timed the jump wrong. That's your fault.
Yo, this is terrible.
It's not terrible, Phil. This boss fight is not that bad. I've seen worse.
The fucking people who made this don't even understand Sonic or what's good about it.
I thought you said these were the same people that made Sonic Mania, Phil. I thought they knew better.
You're wasting my time right now.
Phil, the only one that's wasting time is you. You're the one that's wasting your own time.
You're wasting my time right now.
Phil, you're playing horribly. And yet, this is a time waster. Video games are supposed to be a time waster, and you're wasting your time paying poorly. Like, fuck me. I'm getting tongue-tied because of you.
You tedious idiots.
Tedious idiots? How are they? How's that tedious? Then again, I don't understand your insults. Move on.
How am I supposed to beat him? I'm not gonna have enough time.
Why don't you get good then, Phil?
Some of their time limit bullshit.
Oh, look, Phil, what are you gonna do here? There you go, numbnuts. Phil, come on. Come on, man. Why are you doing this?
Oh, I see. Fuck this, dude. I don't want to play it anymore.
You shouldn't have played it anymore.
I don't. This final boss fight is insanely bad.
No, it's not, Phil. No, it is not.
It's a complete waste of time. It makes you redo it from the start. Cheap instant deaths all the way through.
There's no cheap instant deaths. The only thing that I am seeing here is you fucking up. Constantly.
Completely disrespecting the player.
Phil, you're disrespecting the audience by spreading misinformation like this. Oh.
I guess I could try to slow time with this at some point, right?
2 missiles and he completely missed them.
If I need to. What the? I missed
You mistimed it, Phil.
it. Sure I did.
You did.
Need to.
And with that rollback netcode flashback sequence, we see that he clearly missed it.
What the? Tedious waste of my fucking time.
Well, there you go with this, Phil. Come on, let's learn this again. Come on, is he gonna fuck up again? Let's find out. God damn it, Phil, why? History's repeating itself. Fuck.
How was I supposed to dodge that?
Jumping. Evasive maneuvers.
It's RNG level of fucking sparks falling in front of you.
No, it is not.
I just don't want to do this anymore. I seriously don't want to do this anymore.
Keep this in mind, too. He has supersonic. And he's not using him.
It's trash, and there's no way to fucking make it go faster. There's no way to make it go your way.
Supersonic, Phil. Super fucking sonic.
It's just trash. What a great game. I got 2 hits on that. I got 3 hits.
Wait, I'm going back for a second. I'm looking at that. Some of that actually looks like future Sonic, kinda. It does not bad design. That actually looks cool. Yeah, some of those look like modern Sonic too. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good, I guess. Nice little Easter egg.
2 hits on that. So that was, I got 3 hits. Okay, I got 3 hits out of that. Now I only have a minute left. Well, that was a waste. So you can use all the different powers. I didn't realize that. This is a complete waste. I can't hit him now.
I find it funny that the time is at 0, but yet he wasn't dying. Oh, never mind.
This is fucking terrible. Are you kidding me?
Phil, at least you're not playing by classic Sonic rules. When the time is out, it's out.
How many times do you have to fucking hit him? Come on.
Well, most of the time takes about 9 to 12 times, give or take.
The timer is worthless. Yeah, the timer is absolutely worthless. It means nothing at all. It's a complete waste of your time, the timer. But you wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know that, and now he realizes that the timer's at 0.
I really wish it was apparent when you could hit him. Like, can I hit him right now?
You couldn't.
I don't know. Can I use an ability to hit him right now? I don't know.
Phil, you are floating in 0 gravity. Move.
It's not apparent. You have to, you want to fuck around and lose all your rings? No. So, of course, you're just going to stand here and it's going to take 400 years to beat the boss.
Well, that's only for you, Phil. For a game that you gotta go fast, you taking your sweet-ass time with it.
I don't know what a battle blast is. Someone says, you can use a battle blast. What the fuck is a battle blast?
It's one of the abilities, Phil. Why don't you look around? Fuck around with the abilities and use them!
I don't know. I have no idea what you're even talking about. Battle blast? Let me explain that.
They did when you got the ability, Phil.
We just did it. I used my ability and it killed him.
And he didn't even use Supersonic for this. Why?
Oh my god. Cypress says, oh shit, game's only 4 hours long. Put an impossible boss at the end. Yeah.
Well, then again, isn't that all Sonic games, Phil?
It's exactly right. It's exactly what just happened. 40 minutes to beat the final boss.
No. It took you 40 minutes to beat the boss. Maybe an hour. It takes other people close to 10.
What a horrible misstep this game is. What a horrendous misstep. And a horrible future for the 2D Sonic games if this is what it's going to be.
I don't really think so, Phil. It has a 75 out of 100 on Metacritic from the PS5 reviews. It got pretty favorable reviews.
They had a marvelous entry with Sonic Mania.
Which was 2017, Phil.
And then they did this, right? Like, why did they do this? I just don't even understand it.
Because it's up to them, not you. My god, they put you in the design floor of it. My god, this game would probably be terrible.
It's almost like they had no actual understanding of what made Sonic Mania so good and why people loved it.
But then again, though, Phil, you have no idea what makes any game fucking good. Instead, you buy it with your fans' money, and you're like, yeah, this game's good or really bad. Whatever I'm feeling like today.
Because this, you know what this feels like? Again, this feels like Sonic 4 Part 2.
Well, then again, though, Phil, a lot of people made that comparison that this was like Sonic Episode 4. Like, this was the true Sonic 4, when it's not.
Rather than Sonic Mania Part 2, which is what everyone wanted. What a horrendous outing.
This isn't a horrendous outing, Phil. For God's sakes, it's kind of like a return to form, but it's not the best one. Granted, favorable. Would I spend $60 on it? No. 20 to 40. 40 being the max for the deluxe edition.
The thing is, there's times when it shines. There literally are good parts of the game.
But then again, your negativity clearly outshines the fucking positives.
You know? The problem is that they're overshadowed by the bad parts.
Yeah, and you playing it clearly overshadowed it.
The tediousness of the first 3 levels. The soundtrack that half the time does not resonate with Sonic audiences like me. A lot of these tracks did not kick it for me. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you said that the World 4 World 5 had a kick-ass soundtrack, and now all of a sudden you're just saying, nope, doesn't resonate with me. I'm a true Sonic fan, even though I'm not.
So, this was so bad.
This is like the 5th, 6th, I forget how many times, I'm saying 8 times that he said that this was bad.
Wow. Sadly, like I was saying, I probably enjoyed this game maybe a third of the time to half of the time I was playing it.
Phil, you weren't enjoying it 100% of the time.
And that's it. And that's not what you want to hear for a full retail price game that I beat it in 6 hours. By the way, the only reason it took 6 hours is because an hour and a half was for the stage 9 and 11 bosses. And everything about the game is inferior to the one from 5 years ago. Like, oh my god.
5 years ago? You mean 6? Like, for God's sake, Phil. Do you even know how to math?
I guess you don't.
And I don't think he ever tried out battle mode. He's like, I'm gonna try it out. And then he's like, no, I'm not trying it. This game sucks.
Sonic Superstars is insanely inferior to Sonic Mania in pretty much...
I get it, Phil. Everyone that's watching this gets it. You don't like it as much as Mania, but yet we've seen you play Mania, Phil. You sucked at that game too.
Every way. They completely missed out on the whole spirit of what the game was supposed to be.
No, I think they tried to keep in spirit with the old Sonic games, but again, different strokes, different folks. Some people might like it, some people might not. It's up to them, Phil.
The music's inferior, the gameplay elements are inferior, the stages are inferior, the boss fights are infuriating with no checkpoints.
I love how he says all of them are inferior, then he gets to the bosses infuriated.
They screwed the entire game up. All they had to do was follow and improve upon the example that the previous team had done with Sonic Mania. Instead,
I mean, they kind of did with the visuals, Phil. Granted, it's a modernized look of the retro characters. I mean, I'll give them that part. But you're just sitting there not even giving good praises to it. You're just sitting there going, this game sucks. This game sucks. This game sucks. This game sucks.
they went and tried to make another Sonic 4, which no one liked. And this game feels exactly like that.
If they were trying to make it like another Sonic 4, then it wouldn't look like classic Sonic. Instead, it would look like modern Sonic.
It's just not nearly as good as its predecessor, yet it costs twice as much. It's a $60 game. It's a complete and utter ripoff. I cannot recommend this game to anyone. Maybe if this game one day goes on Game Pass or one of these subscription services, but I would not recommend that anyone spend $1 on this game. It's just not worth it.
I give games a fair shake, and if you want to play it, play it. If you don't want to play it, don't play it. I mean, that's easy with that, Phil. But you're sitting there going, nope, don't buy this game. Even if you're nostalgic for Sonic like me, don't buy it.
It's far inferior. I want them to make a Sonic Mania 2. I don't want them to make Sonic Superstars. I don't want them to make Sonic 5. This is bad.
It's only bad to you, but what everyone else might think of it, it's entirely up to them. Let other people play the game for themselves, and they can give their own shake on it. Don't sit there pretending to be Gout Miller, pretending that you are speaking for the gamers when you're clearly not a gamer.
This is a bad misstep, because where Sonic Frontiers went last year is a good first step in the 3D direction.
Yeah, because that's 3D, because they took something from the other 3D Sonic games and they fleshed it out a little bit more, made it more open world. That's why Sonic Frontiers did a little bit better.
This is a step backwards in the wrong direction.
Well, we can say the same thing about your channel, Phil. How everyone else walked through, took 2 steps forward and adapted and changed. You decided to waddle and fall backwards and just say, oh yeah, but I'm successful.
It's a monstrously inferior game.
It's really not, though. I mean, 75 out of 100 on Metacritic says differently.
And I wouldn't recommend it. I would say if you're a fan of 2D Sonic, you should skip it. That's a frustrating mess that really is uninspired, and I don't know what they were thinking.
I love how he says that skip this game. If you're a fan of 2D Sonics, don't play this game, but yet doesn't provide any alternatives for it. No other platformers, except for Mario Wonder, though, because that's a new hot release. but doesn't do anything that says, oh, hey, if you don't like Sonic Superstars, then play Sonic Mania. Or just better yet, play Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3. Doesn't even do that at all. Instead, he just says, oh yeah, this game sucks, this game sucks.
Besides, you know, cash in on the Sonic name. It's really sad.
And I love how he thinks that this is all based around the Sonic name. This is all big cash in. But meanwhile, he wants people to cash in on his great gameplay of it. I mean, for God's sakes, he keeps asking for tips. Because at the end of the day, we all know he's all about
money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money.
When it comes to Phil showing a passion for anything that he claims to be a fan of, he has nothing to show for it, doesn't even provide any alternatives for products that might be better. Instead, he just goes with, this just sucks, it just sucks, skip it, listen to me, because I'm better than you and I know what I'm talking about. In reality, I'd rather go listen to someone else that plays this type of game and actually knows what he's talking about when it comes to video games. Or just better yet, just go look up a fucking review on the internet, either IGN, GameSpot, or just look up Metacritic. I mean, for God's sakes, always look into what you're buying before you get buyer's remorse. Something that Phil clearly doesn't do. But that said and done, the video is over and the Phil prayer shall commence. Deliver us from the pay pigs. Deliver us from the dents. Deliver us from the pignosis. May we never become dented. May we never become a beggar like Darkside Phil. And for the love of God, may we never have buyer's remorse like he did. Especially when the money wasn't even his to begin with. Amen.